Shin Ultraman review. Well worth watching if you like this sort of thing. From the very start, the filmmakers let us know clearly that this is going to be silly. Initially through spot-on sound design. The opening noise alone sets the scene to a T. And when we see the monsters, which is pretty much straight away, they confirm it fully. Definitely a silly film. I think it takes less than a minute for them to shoehorn enough backstory in to make another 5 films at least, and then we're brought up to the present day. Shin Ultraman. Now, I'd never heard of this character before, but I like Shin Godzilla, so that was enough for me to watch it. I was hoping it would be as dark and effective as Shin Godzilla, but it turned out to be a different kettle of fish. As I was watching it, I lowered my expectations because, well, it's meant to be a bit of fun. You can tell it's going to be a sort of cartoony type live action film, but it's going to be a bit silly, so that's fine. But then Ultraman arrived. I loved that the sound went from old clanging horns and monster roars to near silence at the arrival. It's brilliant. And then we see the thing itself. It's an awesome reveal and an awesome display of power. Beautiful design. I love this fight scene, but the film gets even better. The ratio of good stuff like action scenes and kaiju and just seeing the monsters to the human side of the story is really good. We see lots of crazy creatures from the start, and the main guy in his fancy suit is worth the wait. It never disappoints, not throughout the entire film. The special effects are for the most part really good. The choreography of the fight scenes is smart and believable. Also, the humans do a good job of telling us why it is doing certain things in a tongue-in-cheek way, but I thought a very handsome way. You understand it a lot better on the second viewing, as with most films, and on second viewing the humans still did not get in the way. It has a very Shin Godzilla feel about it, albeit with a more comic book feel running through every moment. I really like the human characters, as unlike most Western monster films, they don't dwell on the feelings and the emotions of the humans as much as they do on the humans trying to combat the bloody monsters. There are still cliches aplenty, but I'm much more prepared to accept them when I don't have to put up with tedious stories of contrived human woe or pathetic masculine femininity. By the end of the film, I was in awe of the special effects because they are really good, and you'll never guess how much this film cost. About £5.5 million or so. Seriously. What did Avatar cost? 240 million or something? And it's nowhere near as good as this film. Nowhere near as good as this film. So if Toho had 237 million, they could make about 47.4 films like Shin Ultraman and Shin Godzilla instead of one huge waste of money called Avatar. The special effects in Avatar are great. How can they not be when they appear to be the main and even sole purpose and focus of the film? The human story being boring, tedious, and I'd go as far as to say offensive to people with honest human emotion. Don't waste your money on Avatar. Rent or buy this or Shin Godzilla or any other film on Earth instead. So far I've been surprised and pleased with at least 100 different aspects of this film, from the top draw sound design to the impressive, the beautiful, and with the suspension of disbelief suspended, awe-inspiring special effects. I'd pay good money to see this film on the big screen. I've seen a lot of films like this and I'm usually happier after watching them. Like the outrageous and formidable The Wailing. It's just a brilliant film. Anyway, enough waffle. Shin Ultraman. Like I said, I knew nothing about this character and grew to love it, as it's a scorcher of a film that gets even better, yes, even better, when we meet the baddie. Just sitting in a car and talking. It's ace, unpredictable, refreshing. It gets very silly at times, but they can do that because they're not pretending this film is anything but, and I didn't mind it at all. The final action scenes get a bit crazy, and it's hard to know at times if I'm watching an animation or a live action film, but it looks like they had fun making it. Excellent film,